Hey guys, what's going on? I want to say at the beginning of this live commentary, shout out to the T. All credits are going to the T channel for this live commentary that we're about to do. It's gonna start in a few minutes. I'm waiting for it to upload so I can share it to the live and we can begin the live commentary. I hope you guys went and saw my other premiere videos that I put up today. I is throwing salt. She throwing shade. She in her feelings. Hey, Nature Boy put himself there, sis. She's doing all the, wanting people to feel bad for Nature Boy, and she's doing all the talking about how people turned on Nature Boy and all the ex-CARBONATION members are talking mess on Nature Boy. Nature Boy is the victim. That's how Nature Boy got them programmed. Nature Boy is the victim. And it's really sad that he has programmed them to really think that he's the victim and that nobody else is the victim in this situation. So I'm going to be doing a live commentary. Like I said, again, let me go check on that. It should be finished rendering in about 9 minutes. So that'll give people time to come on in here and get this live started. So we're going to be up here for a hot little second because it's about 6 hours. So, I'll probably do some skimming through it. And stuff that doesn't need any commentary to it, it won't be said. We'll just skim through it. But it took a few hours for me to render this video so I could share it on this live. So it's pretty much almost rendered, and in about maybe, I think it's 7 minutes left. Yeah, in 7 minutes it'll be up. But yeah, I listened to True yesterday, and he's not hating on Nature Boy and nothing like that. Hey Lori, how are you, sweetie? He's not hating on Nature Boy, but he's coming clean with a lot of the things that he can remember that Nature Boy was doing. And he knew that Nature Boy was straight up lying to the public. We knew it, but it was nice for him to confirm what he confirmed. And that was that Nature Boy is a liar. So that was a good thing. That he confirmed that Nature Boy was a liar. And he had to come with terms with himself that, do I want to be living like this for the rest of my life? Living a lie, living with the narcissist, calling him 3 God, and he is none of these things. So, he's at a place now. He seems to be content. I mean, I'm not trying to say he don't have a long journey for healing, but he seems to be happier. His conversation is different. And, I doubt it very much that he's going back. A lot of people were saying, he was just setting people up so that we would think that he was against Nature Boy, but he isn't against Nature Boy. But that's farther from the truth. You know what I'm saying? Unless I hear otherwise, I'm not even listening to that nonsense about him going back. I don't think he's going to turn back at all. It wouldn't make any sense to. You know what I'm saying? Because it's only up from here for all of these members that end up, you know what I'm saying, staying gone. So we'll see. Only time will tell. But I'm pretty sure that, I gotta stop calling him True. Aaron is content with Aaron right now, and he's in control of his own life, his own destiny, and I think he's going to continue to be content with that without having to answer to a grown man. You know what I'm saying? So, everything's looking up for him. I'm happy for the ones that really have detached themselves from that Nature Boy thing You know, they ain't trying to do like what Solar's doing. You know, Solar's trying to act like a baby Nature Boy. In my opinion, he was the first one to leave, but he's still trying to act like he's organizing the whole little setup like Nature Boy had it, trying to get Zoka back over there and have her be his wife number one, and probably try again having a kid from her, knowing that they're only going to be trauma bonding. So it's a lot. It's a lot. But you know, for True, I think that he's definitely going to be moving forward. So yeah, we got almost less than 5 minutes before this will be finished, and then we'll start with that. So give it some time, and then we'll have enough people in here by that time, so we can get it started. I was just looking to see if True was live on Instagram now, but he's not. He's not at all. Let me see. Who's this right here? Hold up. Yeah, but they're active. Sheba, excuse me, Kendra. Kendra's active. You know, she's doing her little thug fizzle. All right, let me see. It says he only left because Nature Boy demanded the other men attack him, and they said no, and he left. Oh, you talking about Solar when they said for him? I heard that one time Nature Boy had called from jail and demanded somebody to slap one of the guys. I don't know if it was Solar or True. I don't even know. I hate how Solar's at like he's tough when I'm trying to tell you, that's the only thing I don't like about him either, because it's like you didn't have that energy at all when you was in Nature Boy's presence. I don't know what this is all about now, but you need to stop the madness, bro. You really need to stop the madness. But like I said, it is what it is. We already know what time it is. It is what it is. That's how I look at it. But I bet you if he seen Nature Boy in the flesh right now, he'd lose all the color in his skin. He'd be so scared. I wish that this what I had I didn't edit anything actually. I don't even know why I had did that. I was trying to put a border on the live stream commentary I was trying to do. And I should have I wanted to put the video together instead of it being two separate lives, because it broke up into 3-hour increments. So I said, well, I want the video to be together. I don't want to have to put this one up, then put that one up. So that's why I edited it like that. But other than that, I didn't really edit too much from it at all. I didn't edit anything from it, actually. And I just wanted to merge the video together so the whole 6 hours would be on one track, and I could just do commentary on that. So we got 2 more minutes left, and then we'll begin. And I can't talk, it seems. And then we will begin. So I hope y'all's day is going well. Mine's is. I woke up in a good mood. I slept like 8 hours. I was in a deep sleep last night. I slept real good. Actually, I was on the phone with somebody, and I literally went to sleep on the phone and didn't even realize I had knocked out. And I slept for 8 hours, and ooh, that was the best sleep in the world. So we got another minute and 33 seconds, and then we'll be in business. I got to do my hair. I probably won't do it today, but it'll definitely be getting done tomorrow, because I definitely won't be doing those 6-hour live commentary tomorrow. Yeah. But y'all need to, as y'all come in here, make sure y'all hit the like button. Can y'all hit the like button, please? Because them likes look like they're on a diet. Through it. Oh man, I ain't even got my damn man. Because them likes look like they're. Oh, sorry, I don't even have my headset on. I hate when I don't be having my headsets on. Now that must sound better. I know it does, because I sounded like an echo, like I was in a can. Okay, so now we're pretty much about to do this live commentary. We got about 23 seconds. I'm sorry it wasn't that prepared like I was supposed to, but you know, we had to wait for audience as well. So, well, it don't sound like an echo now because I got the headphones on. I didn't have them on. I wasn't even paying attention, but they weren't on. But I hate when I forget to put them on. Okay, so we're gonna get this party started because it's ready now. So let me put it up on the screen. Here it is.
Pray that God will.
Hey everybody, thanks for being here today. This is a very monumental moment. Most importantly, for Aaron and Kendra.
Before we start, I want to say shout out to the T. The credits all go to the T channel, giving us the ability to sit here, listen to what these 𝗪𝗛𝗪𝗔𝗧 members are talking about, and give our thoughts. It's an open panel. If you guys would like to come up and share your thoughts, that's what we're gonna do. I'm here to share my thoughts on this 6-hour live. I'm sorry I'm just now getting to it, but it's 6 hours, and also I had to make time to be able to do it, which means I couldn't have done a 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock live like I normally do, because for me that would be too late getting done with this whole commentary video. But again, shout out to the T. All credits are due to the T channel. Hope you guys are subscribed to the T channel, because she's always one person in the community that I can honestly say that can bring these CARBONATION members together, whether 𝗪𝗛𝗪𝗔𝗧 members or CARBONATION members, and they feel comfortable coming onto her platform and talking with her. So that's a good thing. So we're gonna get into it. So let me do this because I want to start with Kendra.
You made it about you.
You care about is the money, you know, that he was bringing in, but I care about him. And you sit here talking about, am I your wife now? Like, my child, like my child's father? Like, are you crazy? Are you insane? Are you sick? Like,
I feel like she's the one insane.
It just made.
See, this is what bothers me. Only thing about Kendra. Kendra, you knew that was hurting Aaron when you kept going back and forth with Natureboy. So I understand that you came to the rationality that what you was doing was wrong. You can't no longer do this. You could have lost your little one, everything in the process, and your family doing what Natureboy wanted you to do. But what was the reason in the first place for you to allow him to have you going with him, then giving you back the truth? What was the reason for it? You know that Natureboy wasn't attracted to you. You know that Natureboy doesn't love anyone. So why mess up the relationship you built with Aaron to go sleep with Natureboy and do all kind of degrading, unthinkable things with this man? And you already started a family with Aaron. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm proud of you that you moved on, but I you know, like, I mean, don't downplay the fact that you did have a choice whether or not to be, you know, with Natureboy or not.
It just made me wake up. Like, bro, this person don't care. I gotta move different, you know. Well, and then he started asking me about, like, why am I not covering my head like the other women? I know y'all probably seen the videos I was posting. You know, they was covered all the way up. I wasn't with that. You know, I had my hair out. I was me. You know, I was like, nah, man, I'm gonna be me. Like, I'm not about to go online and be something else. I'm tired of that. I'm so tired of that, you know.
It took her to
and so
him
he
to
was
go to
like,
jail for her to do
you
all
know,
this.
why you not covering up? Why you not acting like the other women? Why you not falling in line with them? And I said, you know, because I don't want to wrap my hair up, you know, like, you know. And well, first I said, well, because I looked up, you know, the Quran. I looked up what it says about covering a woman's hair. It don't say nothing about covering a woman's hair up. It says she should be modest, but it don't talk about covering her hair up in Islam, in the Quran.
She don't know what
So if
she's
you
talking
reading the
about with
Quran,
that.
you should probably, you know, rethink what you know, just because. And that's the thing, you know. I so for so long I had just took his word for it. You know, now I got space and time to think. Let me look it up. Let me really like evaluate what I'm doing before I do it, because now I don't feel like I have to do it. You know, because I'm not there. I'm not threatened. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel no type of way. Let me see what I want to do based off of what I really feel and what I really think. And, you know,
They were doing some serious acting, because if you listen to Aaron and if you listen to Kendra, they both have that toughness in their voice that they did not have when they was over in Carbonation. They were very much scared of Nature Boy. Whether if it was Nature Boy putting the paws on them or having the girls or the guys doing it, they were intimidated and scared by Nature Boy. Only thing I don't like about this situation, but I'm still glad that it happened so that they could leave, is it took Nature Boy to go to jail for you people to get the courage to even get up here on a platform and even sound like, you know what I'm saying, you got it in you. What does it say here? All the girls are in my prayers. All of them are in my prayers as well. But I'm just trying to say, I just wish that they would have given the same energy to Nature Boy at the beginning, all of them, because Nature Boy was outnumbered. They could have jumped him or anything if they were all good and tired. They all knew that they was all good and tired of Nature Boy. So what was the problem? Why didn't they make that happen? Maybe it wouldn't have gotten this out of control, because if they would have attacked it as behind, maybe it wouldn't be a Carbonation, or maybe it would have straightened up his act. Who knows? We'll never know, because ain't nobody been brave enough to do it.
like, so I started researching. Does the Quran say that the woman needs to cover her hair? Found out, no. He proceeded to be like, well, you only found that information because you didn't want to wear it anyway. So that you just found information to back up what you already felt. And I said, okay, that's fine. You know, you could believe that, whatever. But I'm not. I said, you know, and then I think, you know, we went back and forth about that for quite some time, because I was telling him, I'm like, look, just because you cover your hair up don't mean you're modest. And
that's the truth.
And you know, I just felt like, you know, I had to do, you know what I had to do? I had to take it back on him. I said, you know what? You know, I was there in Mexico when we was walking around with no clothes on. You know, when I first got here and I arrived in Texas in 2017, you told us we wasn't allowed to wear head wraps because our hair needed to be in connection with everything, with the sun, with the environment, all that. So why now? Why now we covering up? You know, I said, so is what we was doing in Mexico not righteous? And he said, no, I just think that
what did
you know, we did that and it didn't work. And that's when I knew, I'm like, this dude, you know, he probably full of it. He's full of it, because it didn't make sense. Like, why are we changing so much? How are we Muslim now? It just didn't make sense, you know? And I was just like, nah, like, I can't just keep following along with things without questioning. And
it's so sad that she says she can't keep following along with things without questioning it. You're only questioning what you're questioning now because Nature Boy's behind a cell wall. He can't get to you, for number one. Number two, you should have been questioning when he was lining you guys up and you had to slap the nearest person to you in the face. And how he had you outside of an Atlanta restaurant and he had you guys doing all these little circus acts to the point that the man at the front said, y'all can't come in here like that. I mean, he just straight disrespected y'all, and now y'all gonna follow him into a restaurant like you guys are some slaves. I mean, you should have been when it came to the point of him telling you to slap somebody just off a GP, you should have left then. So I'm truly not understanding how you doing, Lordship. You feel me, Lordship? I'm truly not understanding where this makes any sense. I think you wrapping up and being a Muslim woman made more sense than you slapping somebody. So, you know, like I said, this is a case of I'm proud that she left. I'm proud that Aaron left. But I feel like people got that, you know, that Hulk, that ninja attitude because the narcissist is gone now. So the true you is coming out, and the way you're talking is how you've been wanting to talk, or things you've been wanting to say. But it took him to get locked up for you to say it.
And he was talking about praying, you know, 5 times a day. And then he's like, we don't got to pray 5 times a day. Pray 3 times a day. You know, just start making up stuff. And I'm just like, and then I started questioning him, like, so who are you praying to? You know what I'm saying? Like, who are we praying to? Because I thought we were God. You know, so I'm just trying to figure out, like, what we doing?
You been knew he wasn't God.
He just, you know, he always got a response for everything. But, and you just because you say something loud and you say something in a strong, firm, and confident way doesn't make it true. You know, so it didn't faze me no more, especially after that, especially after you didn't even care that, you know, my husband is gone and I don't have him anymore, and he's not in my life anymore.
Exactly.
You know, and in his child's life anymore. All you care about is if I'm going to be your wife again. Meanwhile, how in the world can you support me and my child? How? Behind I don't understand it. But, you know, this is the things that I'm thinking now, you know, being away. See, if I would have been there, you know, who knows? I probably would just fell right into the regular program.
You would have.
You know, that we were under, but
you would have, because if he didn't go to jail, you'd be still there. So you already know, if you would have stayed there, you would have fell underneath the spell that the other women are under right now. So stop it.
Me having the space, you know, away, it really made me see that yeah, nah, this ain't all it was cracked up to be, yo. Like, it's really not. This dude don't really care. Everything, you know, is just being made up as we go.
Yep,
and we just like, oh yeah, it makes sense. And I remember him saying on the phone,
everything's being made up.
You know, our last phone call, he said, if I say that we Muslim, you should just be like, yeah, okay. And I said to him, I'm like, well, I thought you wanted leaders around you, not followers.
Well, y'all been followers for years.
I don't even remember what he said, because it got to be some BS after that. I mean, because that's just plain and simple. And then he said, like, oh, well, because I said, you know what? I'm trusting my own self now. I'm trusting my own intuition. You know, I faced him. After I woke up, I faced him on the phone. I faced him. I said, look, I'm trusting my own intuition now. Because he was calling me. I didn't have no contact. I didn't want to contact them or talk to them. They was calling me. I think they were just trying to figure out where Aaron was at, you know, so they could, I don't know, harass him. I don't know. But I just kept telling them no. So they had called me twice after Aaron left. And so that last time that they called me, he was saying, like, I was telling him, I'm like, look, I'm just going to trust my own intuition now, because he could feel something was different about me. He said, what's up with you? I said, look, I'm just trying to figure out why I'm on the phone right now. And he said, why are you on the phone right now? Are you serious? Just start cussing me out. I hung up the phone.
Like he usually
I hung it up because I'm like, I don't have to listen to you cuss at me no more. Like, I don't have to do that.
Oh, you hung up the phone on Nature?
Why do I have to do that? Why do I deserve that? You know, I've been holding it down for you online. You know, why do I deserve that? You know what I'm saying? I've been covering up, lying, you know, all this. Like, why do I deserve that? And so I just was like, no. No, I'm hanging up the phone. They text me, you just played yourself. I'm like, okay, let me play myself then. They call me back, you know, the ladies, bless them, you know, bless them. They was like, They was like, Sheba, what's wrong with you? You sounding crazy. I told him, I said, look, if this is the kingdom of God, just like Aaron said, I said, look, if this is the kingdom of God, yo, I'd rather be in hell. I said, look, I can't do it. I said, I can't keep up no facade, going on the camera, just sitting there twiddling my thumbs and just acting like I'm happy. I can't do it no more. I can't. And
Well,
I
knew
cried
you
to them and
wasn't
I told
happy.
them, I expressed myself to them. I didn't just disappear on them. I expressed myself to them. I told him, I said, I just can't do it no more. This is way before I did this live video the other day.
Well, we knew you wasn't happy.
And they just was like, you know, they didn't really say anything because he got back on the phone, you know. He had them breaks in between calls where he got to like hang up the phone and then call back or whatever. So during the break, that's when they was like, Sheba, you crazy. And I told him, I'm like, look, I can't do it no more. I can't be not authentic to myself. I don't know how I can't do it. And they was like, yo, you should be glad you're on the phone right now. They was saying like, you should be glad you're on the phone with him right now. I said, what? No, I'm not. I don't want to be cursed out. So he got back on the phone. And he was like, you hung up on me? Why you think? So you think that you could just never talk to me again, huh? And I said, look, yo, because at this point, I don't deserve to be cursed out. I don't deserve all this drama. I'm over here. I'm in peace, yo. Like, I'm around my family. I'm around people that actually care and love me. And they're showing me that. They're showing me real understanding and real compassion. So why should I sit here and be yelled at from somebody behind a phone? You know what I'm saying? Oh, because I'm your higher self. What? What?
Can anybody answer this for me? Because I'm listening to Sheba. She does have a lot to say, but I'm not still understanding. This man took your virginity. You stayed, and I know you felt like you got cheated out of that. Okay. You had a baby. You didn't know if it was Natureboy's or Aaron's. You went back on multiple occasions with Natureboy, and there's been a few times it seemed to me like you wasn't happy with Aaron at the time. You didn't want to be with Aaron, and you were okay with being over there with Natureboy. But he started kind of sort of being tough on Sheba. There was a few times she was in the living room and he made her break down. So she probably said, "Oh, this ain't gonna be no honeymoon period over here neither. I'm going through, changes with Aaron, but Natureboy, he usually be jumping on Malia, but now he's jumping on me, jumping on everybody's getting jumped on." So then all of a sudden it seemed that like Kendra wasn't happy both places, either with Aaron or Natureboy. I really feel like at that time, and she still is, she was very much so confused. It said it was thumb and index finger to be exact. His lordship. Oh my God. She was crying because she was confused. I didn't know what she was crying about. I don't know if she was crying because she didn't want to be over there with Natureboy and she wanted to be with True, or she was confused because she had feelings for the both of them. And she still sounds confused in this interview that she's doing, this build that she's doing. It says, that's what I thought. It says gave her a minimum.
Wouldn't my higher self be wondering if I'm okay right now? Because you don't know if I'm safe. You don't know if I'm good. You just called me to cuss me out. You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Oh God.
So it's like
he gave all of them that.
At that point, I was like, look, I'm going to trust my own intuition on this one. He told me, don't trust your intuition. He said, that's your problem. You want to go into white supremacy and trust your own intuition. You should be taking up my mind and leaving your mind behind. I said, look, I can't do it. I'm sorry, I can't do it. And he got upset because I kept cutting him off. While he was talking, I just kept cutting him off. Because I'm like, nope, you ain't gonna overtalk me. Nope. Because every time you talk, you're trying to reiterate. It's like you keep repeating the same things I've been hearing for the last 5 years. I already know what you want to say. Okay, nope. He said, you cut me off one more time and hang up on you. Great. Cut him off. He hung up on me. I blocked him. That was the last time I talked to him. I remember crying so hard that day to my mom. Like, I told her, I said, I just release. Like, I'm over it. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm free. Like,
now, does it seem normal though still that Kendra and Aaron are calling each other husband and wife and they're a family? But remember, Nature Boy, the person that's a demon to them now, put them together. Nature Boy was with her first. That was one of his wives. He didn't want her after he broke her virginity. So he gave her to Aaron. He put them together. That was an arranged relationship. And they ended up having a son together. So I'm not understanding. If you're truly trying to move forward, how does Aaron play a part? I understand with the co-parenting, but you don't have to be together just to raise a child and for that child to be a decent citizen growing up in society. I really feel it's a bit of trauma bonding, but it's nothing wrong with that because in some cases, I'm quite sure there's relationships that prosper better than people who haven't been through traumas. So I'm not sitting up there saying anything bad. I believe it's going to work out. I have a good vibe that that's going to work out. I have a gut feeling it's going to work out. But it is definitely trauma bonding. It says Anne went to the ocean instead of the doctor.
it's like I had to make him be done with me. Like, I just like just, you know, so I just like, ugh, like, leave me alone. But I also knew that he could possibly call back, so I blocked him. You know, and I remember after that, you know, I still hadn't heard from Aaron on the phone, but I had come into like peace because me and Aaron really gave each other our space. You know, we really gave each other our space after that. You know, so that like when he emailed me and told me he was cool, I was cool. Like, I was like, oh, you safe? Okay, I'm straight. You know, I don't feel like anybody else cared about his safety. You know, so that was a big red flag to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a big last straw for me. You don't care about his safety. All you care about is if I'm gonna come be your wife again. Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. First of all, I was never your wife. Really, truly, you never liked me, and I never really liked you.
Okay,
So stop
well,
faking. Let's not fake. Let's not be fake and phony. So it was just like, nah, I don't want to do that. No. And now I'm just focused on me. You know what I'm saying? Because I even considered the fact that even though Aaron is,
it says I think they all should take time apart and just know themselves before they try to become one. I agree with you 100% with that. It says they're legally married. I don't know, but all I know is if they are legally married, if they got married as a couple when Velvet and Nature Boy got married, it still to me was an arranged assignment because they were first in a relationship before they got married, and that was arranged by Nature Boy. That's how they ended up having beautiful jaw. And if they got married, that was arranged by the force of Nature Boy. So to me, I don't care what nobody says. It's two people trauma bonding. And sometimes I don't care what nobody says. In my opinion, it's not a bad thing if you do something positive with it. If you're with somebody and y'all are trauma bonding, but you're growing together. If you're staying stagnant, then there's no reason for y'all to be in this relationship. I guess he is there sucking that thumb to the bone by now. You already know that in that cell.
you know, texting me or emailing me at that time, he may still possibly abandon me. He may even still possibly abandon me and Josh. He may even possibly just be like, nah, I'm gone, like in the wind type stuff. So I just made peace with me. You know, I just made peace with the fact that, you know, I was going to be on my own right now, you know, and that, you know, I was no longer going to be attached to Nature Boy and none of that. And, you know, but I still kept the post up, you know, up until recently. But I just figured, like, you know, no, I'm just going to get offline. You know, y'all saw me, I was adminning for their Bigo for a little bit. But after that last conversation, I had messaged Kayla, and I told her, look, I'm getting offline. I'm not gonna be online. And look, respectfully, so that you can go find you another admin. You know, I'm not gonna be online, you know. And I disappeared, you know, and I had that space and time to myself. And me and Aaron both gave each other that. And one day I remember waking up like real early in the morning, like just on some like, why am I even up right now? And I got a call, his unknown caller, and I knew it was Aaron. I knew it was him. And I remember as soon as I picked up the phone, he was like, oh, it feels so good to hear your voice. And I was like, yo, I feel the same. Like, it was just like a breath of like, and we knew without even saying that we was on the same page. So it was like, you know, it was really
Thank
nice. It was really
you,
dope. And
Miss Washington.
yeah, like that was my last straw, yo. Like I just realized ain't nobody really care. You know, it was just a lot of narcissistic behavior. Like, oh, so what? So now what you gonna do for me? You know, now that your husband out the picture and your baby daddy out the picture, what you gonna do for me? It was just like, you know what? Nah. You know, I realized it. And, you know, it's really sad that it took all this time to really realize it for it to come to that final.
Sis, you been realized it. You been realized it. You just didn't know. You were stuck mentally. You were stuck. Stop acting like you just realized. You didn't just realize it. Only thing you realized was now was your time to get out because he was in jail. And you knew he was going to be there for a while. You knew it. If anybody knows that Nature Boy is going to be there for a while, it's you guys. So don't act like you didn't know that this was toxic and what he was doing was wrong and what you potentially saw over there was wrong. You been knew it. You just sat in it like a lot of people do when they're in toxic situations. I agree with that. You said
straw, because there was many other things that could have been the final straw, you know, but and a lot of people don't know, but you know, because I didn't ever actually leave in the last 5 years, but I have packed my bags many times. You know, it's just that, you know, something always reeled me back in. And so that was the final straw, though. That was it.
Thank you so much for that. Later on in this live stream, I would love for you to tell everyone about how amazing your family was while you.
Oh yes, yes. After, you know, like my virginity was broken and stuff, which we can go into, you know, at some point, but you know, before that, there was really no arguing. You know, there was really no issues. I will say though, like when I first got there, I pulled up in Texas in 2017, right before we had traveled to Belize, and there was like I did see that there was instances where, you know, I saw like jealousy coming from Nature Boy. You know, he had some current wives that he had about 3 wives or so, 2 or 3. And you know, one of his wives was like talking to somebody on her phone, and he was like, why would you talk to another man? And it was like, it got really big, you know, but he wasn't violent, you know, and I never seen him, you know, violent. I mean, I'm trying to think of when like the first violent act I seen. I'm trying to think.
See, I'm gonna tell you when the violent acts came in. Once the audience started paying him attention and he started getting bigger in life, well, in his mind, he had to up the ante. He had to make the entertainment more entertaining. And that's why he's in jail now, because he overdid it to the point of now you're breaking laws and treating people inhumane. And that's what we cannot do. And that's what those videos were showing to the courts. And that's why you're in jail now, and they looking at you like you're a crazy fool, because they can't believe some of the stuff that you were doing.
If I even remember, but because I don't remember seeing any violence until I want to say Mexico, you know, when y'all were all seeing how we were online all the time. I don't want to be wrong about this. It was Mexico. Yeah, it had to be Mexico, like in that house in Palenque, where we were all, you know, it just looked so beautiful. We were literally living in like, you know, in a fruit
Yeah,
jungle,
because he was
you know,
putting
and
his hands
we
on
had all the
Velvet there.
tents, and, you know, women always cooked in the kitchen, and it was like, it looked like a vibe, and it was a vibe. It was, we acted like we was about to start growing some things, you know, it was pretty cool, until it wasn't, you know. Velvet was really struggling with keeping up on the program, you know. She was just like, you know, she kept going back and forth on whether she wanted to stay or go. You know, she was just like, I think I don't know why. You know, well, obviously, you know, Velvet's told her story, but there was obviously everybody saw that one video. I'll address that because that's like the one that keeps popping up in my head when I'm thinking about the first instances. That first video everybody saw where it looked like he hit her, right? I don't know what happened in that moment. I was right there. Okay, I was right there in the kitchen. I remember this happening where me and Aaron were about to sit down and enjoy our meal, you know, for solar noon at that time. That's what we called it, solar noon. We were about to enjoy our meal, and I remember he, you know, Velvet was sitting on the floor with the baby, and, you know, he had turned to her and said, "Oh, I see you looking at Drew and giving him," I don't know, like, I guess he felt like she was giving Aaron some energy or something, and she was just so fed up. I could, you know, she just got up and she just like, "Look, I'm walking away. Like, I don't even want to address this. You're on live and we're gonna address this now. You know, like, this is crazy." And she just walked off, and then I just remember they kind of like, I don't know what happened because I didn't see it from my own eyes. I just remember that it was a lot of, you know, yelling and stuff, and then next thing you know, Velvet had cut off all her hair, and that's what I realized. I'm like, this is a lot. Like, you know, somebody just don't go from 0 to 100 real quick. But, you know, Natureboy had really convinced us that, you know, Velvet was really crazy. You know, under his influence, I really thought that Velvet was kind of just like, you know, emotionally out of control, you know, and I thought that she just couldn't get with the program. And I thought that she was just like rebellious, and she just, you know, was immature or something, couldn't deal with her emotions. You know, there was so many things that I thought about at that time, even though Velvet was like literally like probably one of my best friends at that time. You know, he would like, when she was having these outbursts, he would bring us around her, like he wanted the women to see her, and like after she cut her hair, he had all the women come up and look at her, you know, and she sat there on the floor and like with her grabbing.
He's a fire starter, because if she cut her hair off, obviously she was going through some type of breakdown. And he's not stupid, because that's what he got them there to do. He wants the game with Natureboy is to bring these people over into my world, CARBONATION, and let me see. I want to see how long it takes for them to break. Then I'm gonna build them back up just to tear them back down. So of course that's why when she cut her hair, he had everybody sit around and look. He was glad that she did that. That meant he won the battle that night. And it's really sad. That's why he's sitting in jail now, because he's sick.
Her head and just like, you know, in a ball, like, you know, so embarrassed. And he was like, look at her, isn't she like, you know, pathetic, and like, you know. And, you know, that was, I feel like that was very unnecessary, because it's like, you know, she's obviously hurting, she's obviously going through some things. You know, why embarrass her, why humiliate her in front of all of the women when she's supposed to be, you know, our chiefess? You know, it just didn't make sense. But at that time, I was trying to understand it all. You know, I was just trying to understand, what does this mean? You know, like, okay, you know, Velvet used to communicate with me, you know, to the side a lot, and she expressed to me that she just didn't want to look like him anymore. Like, she looked in the mirror and she realized, oh, I look just like him, you know, and, you know, my hair looks just like him, and she just wanted to get rid of that image. That's why she cut her hair, you know. But I was so under the influence that I thought, oh, she's just crazy, you know. But looking back, I'm like, yeah, I would have done the same thing, you know. Like, I understand why she did what she did. But I remember in Mexico, like, Velvet being pregnant. I remember me and Aaron talking to Natureboy outside, maybe regarding something about our relationship. We were talking to him, and I can't remember, Aaron, did he like headbutt her, or like it was something. It was like something, he like
I
slapped her.
can't even remember. I can't even remember what means it was, but I
Yeah,
know what you're talking about though.
yeah, I remember we were just outside, we were just talking, and it was like she had came up, you know, while we were talking to him, and he was mad about something that she had done, and he just like smacked her or headbutt her. I want to say headbutt her. That's what I remember. But I just remember, I'm like, she's pregnant. Like, I was just like, what? Like, what was that? Like, it was just, it's kind of just like little evil things like that. It was like, what? You know, was that necessary? And it, I would say, like, under the influence, I definitely was one of those people that I was a coward, and I was like, oh, well, I need to mind my own business. You know, that's their relationship. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors type of stuff. Because in front of us all, you know, he would say things like, yeah, like she's crazy. Like she likes getting hit sometimes. Like she likes that rough stuff. Like oh yeah, so I didn't know if I'm like, maybe that's just their relationship. Maybe, I don't know. Like, it's like, it was kind of hard to be like, hey, no, don't do that. You know, because I didn't know all of the details. I mean, they had been together for a long time. I didn't know everything, so I just kind of minded my business. But I remember at times, like, she would have attitudes, and then next thing you know, like, she'd go upstairs, and then next thing you know, she's coming back downstairs with a busted lip, but she's smiling and act like everything's okay. And I'm just like, you know what? It's like, you want to ask, you know, especially when you see a scratch or you see a bruise or you see a busted lip, you want to ask. You want to just be like, are you okay? Like, what happened? But, you know, I remember she would just look at me and just shake her head like, no, like, let's not talk about that, you know? And it just, it's not that it wasn't disturbing. It was just like, I guess it doesn't.
That's what I said. I was saying when I was listening to it earlier today, I said, man, I didn't know that Kendra talked this much. I thought she was like really quiet, just, you know, naturally. That girl, woo, child, girl, come up for some air.
Have anything to do with, I guess I shouldn't interfere. I guess I shouldn't, you know, I don't know. I'm still trying to, you know, that's why I say this is a process, because I'm still trying to, you know, like, forgive myself, because, you know, at times I get angry just thinking about like things like that, like, you know, and why I didn't say anything, or why I was, you know, why I was mad at Velvet. You know, why was I ever mad at Velvet? Like, the things that she was subjected to, a lot of things I didn't even see, you know. So it's just like, you know, now being aware of things, it's like, I know, if Velvet's listening, I hope to talk to you. You know, I hope to talk to you and tell you I love you. But what'd you say?
No, I was saying it's totally understandable, because what we learned to understand over the course of the few years is that there's levels to it. There's levels to the things that were going on in Carbonation. And sometimes y'all weren't even privy to what was going on with other, you know, there was subset groups within the group, you know, especially like with the A team, and then with the, you know, there was different teams within the group, and different people were aware of different things that were happening to other people. And sometimes y'all were not aware of what was going on with other members of the group. So that is understandable. And I do see your position on that, but I do know that at some point in time, you know, the abuse it just became a lot more evident, especially within the last few months, which is what ultimately led to his downfall, was the documentation
of the abuse. Right. It's like,
I came to understand that this has probably been going on for a long time. He just got bold and decided to show it. So you guys have been desensitized in a lot.
Yeah.
You're very desensitized. You're really coming to an understanding of the gravity of, you know, what you've gone through. Just what you know, it's kind of like, just imagine if Jaumi joined a group like, you know, a cult, and he was subjected to the things that you guys were collectively subjected to, and just kind of put it in that perspective. It's appalling from an outside perspective what you guys went through and what you were made to, you know, contribute in. And so I think that's where, you know, a lot of people have things to say about, but I do have that understanding that there's a lot of desensitization going on. So you still coming to the point where you're like, whoa, that was deep. Like there was a lot of abuse going on in carbonation.
Yeah, that's why, you know, I decided to really get a therapist, like really get counseling, because I realized like it's so many layers that I really can't even unpack it all myself and try to figure it all out on my own, because I was going to do that. But I just was like, nah, like I want some structure. Like I want somebody to really help me break this stuff down so that, you know, because there's going to be like, I might be at a good point right now, right? Because I'm aware and I understand what's going on. But there's going to be times in my life where it's going to be challenges and I'm going to be triggered, or certain things are going to trigger certain memories or whatever. And I'm going to have to deal with how I feel. I'm going to have to deal with, you know, what that brings out of me. And I really want to deal with it with a professional, somebody who knows how to, you know, how to handle these things. And I'm just like, you know, I'm excited to do that, because it's like, I know it's so much. It's just it's so much. It's like I can't even deal with it on my own. I know I can't, you know. And I advise that for anybody. I mean, if they feel like they need it, like, because I know I do. And I'm just not ashamed to say that. Like, I was like, no, I know I need it, and I know and you know what brought me to it too? And I want to say thank you to everybody, because I read some of the comments, and I read one comment that somebody had wrote, and they said, yo, she need to be in therapy for the rest of her life. And initially when I read that comment, I was kind of offended, you know, but then I was like, I thought about it and I was like, yo, they probably right. Like, and I realized, I came to the conclusion, I told Janae this last night, like, I don't mind being in therapy for the rest of my life if that means that I'm the best me that I could be. You know, I don't mind, you know, having counseling and talking to people about this to the end of my days, if that means I can, you know, live freely and live in peace, you know, and not have no, darkness surrounding me, and just, you know, or not knowing how to deal with certain things because I haven't addressed things properly. Yeah, I will gladly be in therapy for the rest of my life to unpack all this stuff. So
yeah, I think they were doing a little too much, but you definitely need time to unpack everything that you've experienced. I mean, dang, you're still so young, you know, you still have so far to go, and the things that you've gone through, you know, some 40-year-old women ain't never gone through, you know, and so you both have a lot to unpack. You're both still young, and you have so much ahead of you that you have yet to even accomplish. It was almost just sucked dry from you, basically. An energy vampire. But yeah, if you were done, I would love to hear True's thoughts. And I know, True, you probably have a different perspective. You're coming from a masculine energy, from a male perspective, as far as what you witnessed and what you are aware of there. And I know you don't want to get into the he did this and he did that, but I think it's important to know that, you know, the biggest reason why so many people have been so concerned and so, you know, have had so much input into what's been going on in the group is that because of the abuse. If it wasn't for that, you know, I think that people would be a lot more receptive just to listening to the teachings and all of that. But the abuse really took it to the next level and really turned this cult inside out. You know, True, when you reflect, and I know you've had some time to reflect, and you know, what are your thoughts overall on what you've seen and are you still processing? Are you not there yet? Where are you?
All right, so just off the break, I know that it's probably subconscious and it's something you're used to, but can you please not call me True no more?
I know it's really hard.
I am so sorry.
Yeah, it's really hard.
If you don't mind,
absolutely, Aaron. My
bad.
That was,
if you don't
yes,
mind, I know it wasn't intentional.
No, yeah, it was no, but thank you for calling me out. Thank you for calling me out on that and putting everybody on notice. That's a beautiful thing. Thank you for that.
Already. First, I want to say again, that people have to pay for this. There's, you know what I'm saying? You out here allowing us to be heard for free. Ain't no monetization. None of that. And I'm going to keep saying it every time I got something to say, because I no longer have to read from a script. I can read from who I actually am, from an authentic space. And like I said earlier, this ain't about to be he did this and he did that, because according to the so-called knowledge, if you die lying, that means you going to hell. And by that equation, if we died in carbonation, we all was going to hell, because we all was lying every day.
Well, he lied
So
every
I'm
day
so
then.
sick of lying that I don't care about no consequences. When it comes to violence, there's instances where I have been violent with Kendra.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I've
let's
been violent
talk
with
about it.
Armand. I remember we got into a little scuffle with Armand. And when it comes to Jamar, aka Loyal, we whooped that nigga ass.
Okay.
So I'm not about to
child.
sit up here, go to war, the common ones, World War II, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan. They often don't realize what happened to them without therapy. There's a
did you
number
whoop
of
Nature
veterans that come
Boys
home and they
behind?
just look out the window. That's it. There's a number of veterans that come home and they just get drunk. They can't stop drinking. There's veterans who weren't violent prior to deployment that come home and all of a sudden that's their primary method of dealing with their wives. So the person who said that she needs to be in therapy for the rest of her life, I don't think that they was malicious, because that's how we've been programmed to consider everybody that says anything in opposition to what we believe in. When you have the opportunity to really feel a person with what is known as empathy and compassion, as we considered ourselves to be as one of our MODs, when you look at something compassionately, I think what that person was trying to say was that this experience may be more traumatic than even me and you realize. And I think that they were just giving us a heads up, because trauma is not nothing new. It comes in very...
Let me tell you something, old son. I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt, but I'm gonna tell you something right now. As soon as I feel like Aaron came clean about, he ain't messing with Nature Boy no more, I do honestly think he's trying to definitely duplicate what Nature Boy did, as far as trying to be in the limelight. I don't think he'll take it to the level Nature Boy took it to, because he don't want to end up in jail. But he likes that attention that he was getting when Nature Boy first went to jail, and he likes it now. He has built an audience off of that same narcissist that they all turned against. So it's like I'm really sitting back and I'm watching, and I want to see how this is gonna unfold going forward with all these people.
His forms. And so, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that me and you, like we've already stated, we have to not play with this, because the worst thing for somebody who has experienced trauma is to further that trauma onto somebody else, and therefore the trauma continues because it was not addressed and stopped at the source. And we can no longer rely on magical revelations that are being pulled out of the ether.
Yeah, and that's why I really feel like, the little subtle violence, in Mexico should have been addressed, and that should have been something that was like nipped in the butt right then, like, no, this isn't right. Because as time went on, it became like this gradual thing, this gradual progression of, violence is kind of not, I don't want to say normal here, but like, well, I guess that is like normal here. Like, I remember when, like, there would be new members that would come, and if they were to hear, like, say, Nature Boy and Velvet or one of his wives, like, getting into it, and they would hear like a scuffle or something, they would be like, oh, what's that? Like, I remember Janae actually a couple times, she'd be, what was that? What's going on? And I remember like calming her down, like, oh, it's okay, he got it under control. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I thought about it, because I was just like, oh, well, you know, this is something that happens all the time, and you know, maybe you know, don't worry, it doesn't ever go too far. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't worry, it doesn't ever, you know, it's not as bad as you may think. They just they fight. You know, they wrestling or something. Like, you know, and it began to become kind of like normalized as time went on. And then by the time we get to, oh, you in the circle and you know, you getting smacked, it was like, in my mind at that time, I'm thinking, well, this is what we all agreed to. You know, we all agreed. So I'm thinking, oh, it's consensual. Like everybody consented to this because, you know, everybody said, well, yeah, if I'm out of line, it's okay to slap me, you know. So I'm thinking, well,
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I,
That's really crazy.
me personally, never got slapped because I just kept doing I was staying to the script, you know. I was keeping the I was following all the rules. I wasn't rebellious. I wasn't, you know, didn't have attitude. I just faked positive. You know, I was such a good little slave that I never got slapped. You know, I never got whooped. I never got beat.
But you
know,
slapped people, though.
But you know, does that make it right that I slapped, you know, Kayla? No, not at all. You know what I'm saying? The way I justified it in my head at the time was, well, she consented to this. Like literally, there'll be times where he'd be like, slap her, and she would just stand there and be ready for me to smack her. You know, and like it's like in a way, it's like it didn't feel good. No, it didn't feel good to do it at all. It wasn't that it felt good. It was like in a way, it just felt like, well, this makes sense because we both agreed to it. But what I've learned now is that, you know, physical punishments, physical violence, like that's no way to solve any issue, like at all. Like to this day, I will not ever whoop Jaomi or like put him in the corner, like make him stand in the corner. Like that was the thing, making people stand in the corner. Like these little subtle punishments that are like physical punishments. It don't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. You know why? Because when somebody does something wrong, what sense does it make to punish their physical body? That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make them stop doing that. It just makes them afraid. It makes them afraid to fail, afraid to do anything really, because you just never know. You know, you might get smacked. You know, and it makes one, like you said, it turns people into violent people. So people suppress, you know, their emotions. Some people, you know, act out in rage. You know, it turns into so much dumb, like just violent behavior. You know, basically it's creating generational curses. You know, so why are we doing it? Why are we doing it? If this ain't the solution to nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, you know, those little punishments, like even, you know, I just want to say, like, I apologize to all those women that came out to Puerto Rico during that women's boot camp. And, you know, I basically was so influenced, y'all. Like I feel like literally like, you know how a drug addict, you know, is when they are on that drug, or how an alcoholic acts when they are drinking alcohol. It's not who they really are. It's like they under that influence, and they do things that they wouldn't normally do. You know what I'm saying? And now that I'm sober, you know what I'm saying? Now that I'm clean, now that I'm in rehabilitation, I see who I was under the influence, and I'm like, oh, I'm so disturbed. You know, I'm just so like, ew. Like, why would you ever do that? I reached out to a couple women. I think I reached out to Wizzy, like, and I just apologized to her because I remember smacking her. You know what I'm saying? I remember, and it wasn't on.
I like to hear Kendra talking, but I really truly want to hear Janae, Nateri, you know, same thing. And I really want to hear from True. That's what I really want to hear. And I know this is a 6-hour live, but oh my God, she's doing majority of the talking. I'm glad that she's getting it off her chest. But girl, come up for some air so we can hear the rest of the panel. Woo, child.
Wasn't on Nature's Boy's command. And I'll say that. No, Nature Boy did not command me at that boot camp to smack any of those women or put them in a corner or talk to them disrespectfully or do any of those things to them. I did that on my own because I was so under the influence that I thought this is the right thing. This is what was done to me. So this is what I need to do to them because we need to get this. We need to get them in line and get them in shape so they can be good women, so they can be good wives, so they can be good so they can serve God. Da, 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 da. You know, that whole belief system and mindset. But the things that we had them women going through during that boot camp was absolutely ridiculous. The things that I said to those women, I hope all them videos burn because I don't even want to see one of those videos of me, you know, coming down on those women like I was coming down on those women. Like, and I remember him saying, y'all taking on my spirit, y'all taking on my energy. I see y'all, like, and me being happy about that. Like, no, looking back, like, no, like, I don't, it's crazy because he wasn't even there. He was in Atlanta, you know, so it's like I couldn't even blame him. You know, you can't blame him. He's over there in Atlanta. I'm in Puerto Rico doing this to these women. That I'm the one that got him in the corner. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one that smacked them across their face. He didn't tell me to do that. You know what I'm saying? We beat that girl up. That girl, what's her name? Isis. We did that to her. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't there.
Who ISIS is.
Although he did say, I would have whooped her ass if she would have said that. And so that's why we did it. But still, we didn't have to do it. You know, we chose to because under that influence, we thought, well, this is the right thing to do. And I know what people are thinking, how could you possibly think that is right? There was so many justifications. There was always something. There was always a reason. Like, oh, well,
know, right,
if we were tribal, you know, if the system wasn't there, then this is the type of behavior that we would display. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, this is tribal behavior. If I'm out of line in any tribe, then the tribe would physically hurt me. You know what I'm saying? Because because you're not in line. If you're not completely in line with what we're doing, then that means you're an enemy. You know what I'm saying? So this is how we treat enemies. You know, you know, certain things that were said, like, you know, enemies, you know, he would say certain things like, y'all would all be dead by now. You know, if we were really tribal, y'all would all be, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all women are so, you know, oh, let me slow down.
Slow
Oh,
down.
my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Slow down,
Kendra, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. What's up? My name is Real Talk. I am a friend of the T's. And so I'm just here to, I guess, listen as well and ask a few questions. I'm so proud of you. Let me just say that first. I'm so proud of you guys for the journey that you have officially began. The question I have is, are you aware that the things that he made you believe were your thoughts? Are you aware that they were just forms of manipulation? Like that when you said we did these things, even when he wasn't there, do you know that he kind of prepared you for those moments to believe that those were your thoughts and therefore your actions?
Yeah, I've recognized that now because you know, what made me recognize that is time and space away, because I realized that, you know, he was in my head so much with the constant talking to us for 2, 4, 6, 8 hours in the night, sleep deprived, you know, hungry, just saying yes so I can get through this, so I can go eat, just saying yes so I can get through this meeting so I can go sleep. You know, I realized that you know, I just agreed with things over and over and over again, to the point where even when he wasn't there, I still was agreeing to it. So I understand it was brainwashing. I understand that it was manipulation. You know, I really do.
I want to add this element too.
Mm-hmm.
Just because somebody's not physically there does not mean that they don't have the ability to influence, because you have to consider that whether you may have been aware of it or not, that you could have possibly done that out of your own protection of yourself, because you know if you didn't do it, that you could have possibly been getting your ass whooped. So I think that a lot of the times,
and I was made an example of.
a lot of the times, y'all did those things, including the guys. We did those things because of the possibility that if we ever resisted, that it could result in us getting our ass beat. So you had to choose in that moment. It's a hell of a decision.
Yes, it
It's a
is.
hell
I
of a
watched it. I
decision.
watched it. I watched it happen before my eyes when it came to ISIS. A lot of those girls were they had just got there, so they wasn't as deep as I was. I was like, I was telling them, I've been here for 5 years. Y'all
Ooh,
ain't did
child.
nothing. You know, I'm telling them to, you know, these types of things. These women is looking at me like, girl,
Well,
you
stay here for
lost it.
another
You know,
5.
but when we
Shoot,
was
and get beat in the
when that
head, busted
stuff
the head
happened to
to white
ISIS,
meat.
them women did not want to hit her. They did not want to hit her. I sat there and watched it. I looked at her. I looked at them, and I'm like 963, she was like barely tapping her. She was like, I can't do this. I feel so wrong. Like I could feel it all on her face. You know what I'm saying? Like looking back, I'm like, them women, they was just like, why are we doing this? Veer, that girl, she was so scared. She was just like, I can't even resist because it might be me next. You know?
Exactly. You have to consider that because, like I keep saying, it's some you have to take responsibility for certain
Yeah.
things to make sure that you don't leave no power in the hands of the person that you're referring to. Also, you have to understand that if I'm giving an advertisement and I say that there's nothing wrong with this car and I change the motor out and the oil change and it's a new radiator and a new transmission, but when you buy it, the bitch break down, you can't say that that was absolutely your fault. You have to understand that the influences there to make you make the decision have to be taken into account because any one of y'all women would have resisted. You don't know what the
Oh, so
hell
funny.
these other 9 women gonna do to you. And like I said, that's a hell of a decision. Had it made up in my mind.
That's how he kept them in check. Yeah, I know there was probably once upon a time Nature Boy was putting hands at least on the women. We know he put his hands on Velvet and some of the other like Serenity and Pocahontas. But I'm saying in the carbonation era, there was one point of time Nature Boy was putting hands on people. But I think that he said this gonna get me in trouble. I'm gonna end up like R. Kelly. So he started telling the women on this side, now when this one gets out of hand, this what you handle. I want to keep my hands clean. And the same thing with the guys. If one of the guys don't want to stay there or if they don't want to listen to what Nature Boy's saying, then he would put the guys on one of the guys. That's what Nature Boy was doing. But you can't in the same breath, Nature Boy, call these people your family, but you getting ready to have a group of them jump on one person. Family don't do stuff like that. So I don't understand how they couldn't see Aaron or Kendra that where they were at with a child was not where they should have been. It says the one that did the oral on the guys, what was that one's name? I can't even remember. You talking about the one that was dressed up in a wig? These people have no accountability. None of them do. ISIS wasn't there very long. Okay, the one with the wig. I can't remember his name, and I did at the time, but he was on Twitter because they showed the video of Solar standing up, and the trans man was sitting on the bed giving him, the oral thing. That's crazy. Yeah, they didn't talk about Mama Dia because, see, you got to understand these ex-carbonation members, in my opinion, they are honestly scared still, and they hear commentary channels and comments in the comment section of videos, and they probably feel if they bring up Mama Dia, it's gonna hold them accountable for what happened to Mama Dia because they were over there at the time. So you're not going to hear them talking about Mama Dia. They're too afraid that somebody might knock on their door saying, put your hands behind your back. We're taking you in.
That shoe, you understand?
I don't
I
remember
ain't
ISIS
going to work
either.
no job. I ain't going to school. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't going back on that side of the world. You know what I'm
They
saying?
don't
So it
want
was kind of
charges,
like,
exactly.
you know, that you know what I'm saying? It was nice knowing you type deal. But different stages, I had to suppress my feelings because, I was underneath the paradigm that, feelings come from thoughts, keep a healthy perspective, da 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 da. But when then on the other hand, feeling is knowing. So it's like, what the hell are you talking about? So it's like when you know something, it's associated with you feeling it on a deep level. It's like, it's like we have these these natural guidances that resonate. Like, we feel energy as humans. We feel energy. You can feel a dog, and when that dog is a good dog, and when that dog could possibly bite your ass. Some people, you come around and they just got a shady vibe, like they might steal some shit, or like they might goddamn, you know what I'm saying? In Kendra relationship, I can't say what Kayla's and Ishmael and, Shasette, I forgot Shasette's real name, but any other relationships that were formed, I don't know if they were good relationships. I'm just saying on the outside looking in. But for the relationship I was in and am currently in, I noticed that me and Kendra did not have any problems. And if we did, they were minuscule until. And I'm like, and we would be at Walmart. We'd be watching a movie or something simple. And I'm like, we really get along with each other. But it wasn't until certain things were introduced that made me second guess the relationship. And I started doubting the relationship. I started detaching myself from the relationship and ignoring my own feelings, because I felt like, yo, we can't be in a relationship together and be here. It's impossible. Because otherwise, if I had my own fucking space, nobody would be able to, from their original intent. I did not come out there to serve, kneel, none of that shit. I came there to really see what's going on. So one element I want to take y'all back to Nicaragua. And it may be an element that other people may not have thought about or said. He was in jail in a foreign country with no phone calls, no letters, no outside communication.
There's over 100 people in here. Can we please get the likes up? Let's get the likes up, please. Thank you, and welcome to the live.
If everybody would have left in that moment, he'd still be in there to this day. And that's all I wanted to say.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
And for him to then, therefore, shortly after, degrade us as if we're these worthless, expendable, incapable people who are just hanging on to him to try to get some swag, it is very disrespectful, because we drove to that jail every day. We all stayed in a little bitty Airbnb, eating rice and lentils and peanuts and craisins, scraping up whatever money we could. And we wasn't going nowhere until he got out. And for him to act like we weren't a critical component to his existence in this present moment, I think is ridiculous. And I think that it in itself is more than enough, in conjunction with the other things, to show that he don't give a fuck about nobody but himself. And
you just figured that out.
To make it seem as if I was participating in something that was familiar. And that's what people typically do. When you find yourself in an unfamiliar situation, you tend to try to transform it into something that you are familiar with. And I will say that a lot of times what you've seen on camera, and I know some people have a better ability at reading others than others do, you've seen a facade. You've seen me trying to not be seen as somebody who was hurt, because I couldn't afford to let anybody see I was hurt. But I think that
knew you was hurt.
Certain people may have known that.
Yeah, I knew it.
And I tried to come up with whatever thought I could come up with in my mind to make it seem like it wasn't that serious, I'm a get her in the end. Whatever ridiculous thought pattern I told myself, I was good at that, because, like I said, I don't know if other people know it or not, but my mother transitioned when I was 15, so I still had to go to school, though. I had to still move forward in life, so I learned how to get over those emotions and harness those emotions. And a lot of times, my anger online was stemming from that. I'm cussing y'all out as an outlet for something that has nothing to do with you. Wearing weave ain't that bad. It's not. It doesn't make you a devil because you wear weave. It doesn't make you a lower than me because you wear eyelashes.
Oh,
A
now
lot of
he
the
comes
things
out and
I've
says
said,
this.
a lot of the arguments I've been in stemmed from something that had nothing to do with y'all, but y'all were targets. I couldn't target nobody in the cult.
Yeah, so
I
you took
couldn't
it out
target
on us.
Nature Boy because
Exactly.
that could potentially mean one
You
on
get
either
beat
extreme.
down.
One, I'm getting my ass whooped.
That's how it kind of goes. But I just, so much that you're saying
That's crazy.
is like it's in this book, and I really hope that you all are able to remain strong. I got here a little late, so I don't know if you guys discussed this yet, but my biggest question, I think, for you, Aaron, is what was it? What was the moment that you said, okay, I'm done, I'm out?
Oh yeah, we went over that. We went over that, but just a quick summary. I realized that what I was investing in was no longer going in the direction I wanted to go. And magic and trusting in the unknown was bullshit because it was only applicable to certain things.
Right. We were told that all your rewards will come in the end.
Yeah, okay.
So you're waiting around for, one day.
I hope that all the Carbonation members that left sign up for a credit APP like Equifax and lock their credit accounts because Nature Boy still has all of their social security numbers. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I would advise them to do it too, sis.
One day, just one day you'll have what you really want, but not now. Right now you have to serve me.
And just a quick backtrack to how I was feeling about the relationship. And at one point, I actually thought that my feelings for Kendra was, violation of the game, the so-called game amongst pimps is that, if your girl choose, then you can't interfere with that. You can't interfere with where a woman wants to be. And I took that in consideration too. I said I can't violate that.
And once
You
your
go make a
credit's
video, you
messed
say the
up,
same thing back.
that's
You know
a
what I'm saying?
wrap.
So it's like I'm just repeating this. I'm repeating.
Glad that you touched on this.
So confusing that it's like you don't really know what to do. I remember by the time we were in Atlanta, and you remember, Aaron, by the time we were in Atlanta, I just looked at you and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know who to, and I mind you, I got a whole baby, but I don't know what to do. I'm looking for the decision to be made for me at this point, because I'm just like, I'm so confused. I don't know which way is up, which way is right. I want to do the right thing.
I get it.
But I just don't know what that is anymore. And I feel like it wasn't me that came confused. You know what I'm saying? I knew who I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I knew what I wanted. It was all these little innuendos and these little this and that and whispers in your ear that it's confusing to you. And I talked to T about this. Along with the coercion, there is this idea that, he romanticizes you as if he really likes you.
She knew he didn't
yeah,
like
I really
her,
love
though.
you. But in front of everybody will humiliate you and tell you how much he doesn't like you, just like he does with Porshae. I'm not really interested in her. But get her alone in the room and so she's confused. She doesn't know, does this man really love me or does he not? Because in front of the world he don't love me, but behind closed doors he's saying, it's so confusing. And it's like, it's not the women that are causing this confusion. Like that is such a way to distract, to make us feel like, we can't have confidence in our own selves and our decisions and what we think and what we feel. And I realized that, being away for so long, and I was talking to Aaron about this the other day. I'm like, bro, this whole time we've been thinking women are the devil and women are the confusing ones. Women are the ones that are a cause of all of our problems and all of our issues. And I've been saying this, and I'm a woman. So it's like, I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it now. Knowing what was really going on, I'm just like, bruh. All right, okay,
Girl, I'm about
okay.
to
This
turn
is
it
all
off too.
unfolding.
Thank you,
It's
sis.
all unfolding, but it's just like, dang.
Ooh,
Now,
child, I'm on the same page as you. I'm on the same page as you because I said to myself, I don't think I could do this 6 hours. I can't barely sit in this chair, girl. I'm right with you. Can I join you? Where you about to go, sis? I can't. I tried, guys. I can't sit through this whole thing. I can't either. Ooh, child. No, and only one I'm hearing is Kendra, and I'm glad that she's releasing it. But girl, give somebody somebody else a chance to talk. She talked that whole interview, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm happy for him. So I don't want no one to get it all messed up, thinking that now they left Natureboy, now you're saying something else about him. Not at all. It's just that live was long. I thought that I'd be able to sit through it and do some commentary. I did what I could do, and I can't do no more. So I get what you're saying and stuff. Yeah, it's a little bit much, man. It's a little bit much. I don't think that anybody sat through that. Even if you started it from the beginning, like say if you were there when it first aired, ain't no way nobody's sitting there for no 6 hours listening to. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe if you was in your living room and pop some popcorn, put some extra, butter on it, and sat there and kicked your feet up. But yeah, it's a lot to take in at one time. It says, is it another channel? She's releasing herself. It says, we truly appreciate you, sis. Yeah, she is releasing herself, but it's a lot. It is a lot. It says, is it another channel? She's releasing herself. What do you mean? Is there another channel? What do you mean? Yeah, but like I said, I'm proud of him. I see True up there doing his little thug thizzle. He was up there yesterday. He was in good spirits. You know what I'm saying, and all that. But it's a lot to listen to. The caller, it says callers were talking about nothing. I couldn't listen to it. It's just too much. Hey, it's Ashanti. It's a long live. It's just too. Cause I'm gonna tell you something. Old son, I was sitting up there wiggling around in my chair, almost like how a kid can't stay still. I said, "Oh no, I can't do this." Is it another page? Yeah, it's on the T's channel. That's where the video came from, and I wanted to do commentary on it. And again, shout out to the T, for making this happen. But Lord, that's long. Yeah, that's too long. I can't. I can't. I can't even stay still in this chair and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It says, "Is Natureboy still locked up?" Yep, he's still locked up. Cashmere. It says, "Oh wow, I thought it just started." Oh no, we've been listening to it for about an hour and 27 minutes. It said, I watched it, fell asleep, woke up, and still was on. I'm trying to tell you, that thing was 6 hours. I was like, what? I couldn't even edit like I wanted to. The video was so long. And I started editing around, I'll say, 10:30 this morning. I should have got up like earlier than that and edited it. And I would have been able to take out all the fluff and then just put up just what you guys probably want to hear. But it was just too long. I said, I can't do it. It says, I just believe in my heart Kendra is stuck and it's going to take her a long time to get him out. To get him out of her system. Trust me, I've been there. I know it is gonna take her a long time. I agree with that. Tomorrow. It says, I listened to this in portions. Kendra and Aaron say a lot, but it's too long. It's too long. It is. It's too long. It's too long. I can't do it. I tried, guys. I did. At least I kept my promise, and I did come on, and I'm definitely here over an hour. And that's not like me to be up here for an hour. So I tried. I attempted it because I'm 29 minutes over the time that I normally stay on here. I don't stay on here that long. But I tried. I just can't. So listen, guys, I'm going to get up off of here. if you guys want to look at the full video live, please feel free to go over to the Keyz channel and go check it out. It's still up there, and if you got time, or maybe put it in a watch for later folder, and maybe on the weekend if you got the day off, cook something good to eat and sit back and listen to it. But you're gonna be there for a minute. I can't believe I sat and listened to the whole 6 hours. Wow, you're good. I don't know if I caught it live, I would have listened to the whole thing too. But it's just really hard. It's a lot. It's a lot of information to take in at once. So listen, I'm getting off of here. Thank you for the ones that did come in here with me and do the commentary, what I could do of it. And make sure on the way out you leave a like on this video, and make sure y'all check out my BBL shorts and my BBL commentary videos. I will be definitely doing some commentary videos tomorrow. I got 2 BBL shorts coming up. One at 3, I think, and one at 5. Do you know the singer they call what's her name? Oh God, what is her name? The singer they call Spice. She had just got a BBL, and they're allegedly saying she had some complications. So I got a little short video going up on her and that situation. Hopefully, let's keep her in our prayers. Hopefully she's okay. Nothing happened with her getting that BBL procedure. And yeah, make sure you support the other content that I'm doing on the channel. So I'll talk to y'all later. Stay blessed, and I'm out. Love y'all. Mwah.